Welcome to the Line Life Podcast. I'm Jeff Postlethwaite, Senior Editor of T&D World, and today we're bringing you more stories of the grit, courage, and inspirational teamwork that it takes to be a line worker.
Welcome to the T&D World Line Life Podcast, produced by Endeavor Business Media, a division of Endeavor B2B. My name is Amy Fishbach, and I'm the field editor for T&D World and also the host of the Line Life Podcast. Before I dive into today's episode, I invite you to become part of our Line Life podcast community by searching for the Line Life podcast in your favorite podcasting app or going to linelife.podbean.com and clicking follow in the top right. We air interview-style episodes on the first and third Fridays of each month and audio stories in our In Case You Missed It series featuring articles that appeared in our print magazine on the second and fourth Fridays of each month. If you have a comment on this episode or a suggestion for a future guest, please reach out to me. You can email me at amyfishbach@gmail.com or reach out to me on LinkedIn or at Lineman World on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. This is the 2025 Trees and Utilities Week in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'd like to honor all of you out there who are listening who work in the utility vegetation management industry. For today's audio story in our In Case You Missed It series, I'm honored to present another article from our 2025 Vegetation Management Supplement, which we publish each June in partnership with the Utility Arborist Association, or UAA. This article is going to dive into drone-related technology, which line crews are very familiar with, as I know a lot of you are using drones, especially after storms, to assess damage and expedite restoration. In this case, we're looking at drone technology in terms of AI and machine learning to map out milkweed in a right-of-way for monarch butterfly conservation. For today's episode, I'm narrating another article from the 2025 Vegetation Management Supplement titled Monitoring Pollinators in Right-of-Ways by Drone. This article was written by Jill Rebuck of the Davy Tree Expert Company. Monitoring pollinators in right-of-ways by drone. Research is underway to leverage drone technology for responsible right-of-way vegetation management. Utilities have long been at the forefront of environmental stewardship, especially when it comes to cultivating and maintaining pollinator habitats in the rights-of-ways, or ROWs. But in an era of intense scrutiny and increasingly lean resources, utilities are challenged with how to successfully balance infrastructure management with ecological conservation. Now the answer could be found in a pilot project that's poised to transform how utilities monitor and manage the right-of-ways to achieve compliance and realize significant cost savings. Got milkweed? The idea of protecting pollinators by cultivating habitats in utility right-of-ways is nothing new. Pollinator-friendly right-of-ways are helping utilities improve habitats while simultaneously achieving their reliability needs. This is a good thing, of course, as pollinators, like the monarch butterfly, play an integral role in ecosystem function, but concern over their decline due to habitat loss, disease, parasites, and environmental pressures has spurred a variety of conservation efforts. For example, the Rights of Way as Habitat Working Group is on a mission to support a healthier ecosystem while also enhancing safe, reliable energy systems by using right-of-ways as food and shelter for birds, butterflies, and other pollinators. As one of the group's many coalition partners, the Davy Tree Expert Company is helping further the mission by supporting utilities in achieving their environmental compliance and stewardship goals through planting, maintaining, and monitoring right-of-way pollinator habitats, including milkweed host plants. Utilities, monarchs, and milkweed. Why milkweed? Milkweed is a sole host plant for monarchs, making it essential for monarch butterflies to complete their life cycle. That's why maintaining a healthy, renewable population of monarch butterflies has become so important. Adam Baker, PhD, a research entomologist within the Davy Institute, says over the past several years, the main conservation strategy for monarch butterflies has been to plant as many milkweeds as possible. It's been proposed that 1.8 billion milkweed stems need to be reintroduced into the flyways and breeding grounds of North America, he said. Of course, milkweed is only part of the solution for the monarch, but it is a really big component. Milkweed monitoring is a crucial element for utilities wishing to maintain compliance with the Monarch Candidate Conservation Agreement with Assurances, or CCAA. This formal yet voluntary program of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, or USFWS, is dedicated to helping preserve monarch butterfly habitats on lands managed by the energy and transmission sector. According to Dr. Baker, when a utility becomes part of the CCAA, they're not only helping to conserve the monarch butterfly, but they're also creating high-functioning ecological assets that provide habitat and are resistant to colonization by invasive species. But in order to create a compliant, low-maintenance, least disruptive plan for these habitats, utilities must invest in expert vegetation management, he said. This includes quantification of keystone species, such as milkweed, which can be used as a proxy for ecosystem health. Accurate counts of milkweed stems provide feedback on habitat improvement activities and ensures compliance with environmental stewardship programs like the CCAA. Boots on the ground versus technology. Which is better for counting milkweed? Traditionally, counting milkweed is a job that's performed through a literal boots-on-the-ground assessment and physical stem count using methods such as transect-based estimates. It is a labor-intensive and time-consuming process that requires high levels of experience and expertise to properly execute the count. In addition to the expense involved in counting milkweed, there are other challenges associated with conducting a physical count of the plants. Here are a few of them. The amount of time it takes to walk the right-of-way, identify, and count the plants. Potential for human error due to fatigue or bias, which can affect the accuracy and consistency of counting. Inaccessibility of hard-to-reach areas. And finally, worker safety. Yet, what is the alternative? The answer: technology-assisted assessment, of course. Specifically, drone and machine learning, or ML-enabled data capture and processing. As an expert in monarch milkweed interactions, Dr. Baker admits that few people have grown more milkweeds or crawled through chigger-infested meadows as much as he has. He knows how arduous full ground counts of milkweed stems can be. So when he met entrepreneur Greg Emmerich at a Monarch Summit a few years ago, it only made sense to explore the idea of using Emmerich's conservation platform, Polly, to assist. Polly uses drone flights and algorithms to identify milkweed as accurately as an expert, only faster. From that and subsequent conversations, a pilot program was born between the Davy Institute and Polly that involved comparing the traditional data collection method of physical counts to drones, AI, and ML to quantify milkweed and other floral resources in a sample right-of-way. The pilot project. Unlike humans, cameras and machine learning don't get tired, said Emmerich, founder of Polly, which promises to deliver fast, affordable insights for conservation, vegetation management, and reporting. I knew we could capture a bunch of images with metadata and create a machine learning model that could count the plants and identify not only the plant, but also its exact location on Earth. I knew that drones could be used for understanding both counts and concentrations. Even better, the Polly platform could take the collected data and process it in a way that nobody else seemingly has. It's like emptying your pockets at the end of the day, filling a change jar, and then having someone ask you to pull out a 1975 dime, Emmerich said. It's really difficult. That's what it's like when you capture a whole bunch of images like this. Even though we can process it, it's really hard to manage all of that data and then make it make sense to someone else. That was the impetus for developing our own platform. Together, that's what the entomologist and the entrepreneur did. Focusing on a half-mile section of an electric distribution right-of-way equal to a little over 4 acres, each went out and did full counts of the milkweed stems. Dr. Baker on the ground and Emmerich from the air. Counting milkweed is not an easy or simple process. Traditional methods mean populations can be easily overlooked, not to mention randomized transect samplings and transect-based extrapolations that can be inaccurate. Dr. Baker literally walked the right-of-way, spending more than 3 hours combing the section and leveraging his graduate work in monarch butterfly conservation to identify and count close to 600 milkweeds. Emmerich then flew a drone over the same area, collecting image data at the proper resolution on the Poly flight application, importing the image data into the Poly platform, then processing the data through proprietary algorithms. In addition to testing the assumption that Poly could perform as well as or better than the traditional method, the collaborators say the other goal was to determine if this methodology could provide utilities with a lower cost yet highly accurate option for assessment. Pilot project outcomes. The results were astounding. While not identical in number, the counts, 579 for Dr. Baker and 503 for drone detection, proved promising. This side-by-side visual comparison shows a difference in both count and time to collect. Note that the technology outperformed traditional by not just minutes, but hours. In fact, Poly was 15 times faster. Here's a quick look at the boots and ground collection versus the drone-enabled collection. The collection area for both was 4.03 acres. The time for collection and data input was 3 hours and 30 minutes for the boots on the ground collection and only 14 minutes with 6 minutes flying time for the drone-enabled collection. The total milkweed count was 579 for the boots on the ground collection and 503 with an estimation of 561 for the drone-enabled collection. The time savings for the drone-enabled collection was 3 hours and 17 minutes. In addition to speed, here's a look at some of the other potential benefits of taking data collection to the air and to scale. Time and cost efficiency. Drone-enabled collection dramatically reduces data collection expenses by replacing manual, labor-intensive research methodologies. Resource optimization. Automating flight planning and data processing allows utilities to better allocate their organizational resources. Enhanced decision-making. High-quality, accurate ecological data empowers organizations to make informed conservation choices. Sustainable monitoring. Continuous habitat and species tracking supports adaptive conservation strategies without high reoccurring expenses. Environmental protection. Precise ecological data helps prevent potential environmental damage and avoid significant financial and ecological restoration costs. Scaling and future application. Now that the proof of concept is complete, the Davey Institute and Poly are planning a more formal follow-up study. In addition to quantifying milkweed stems, the team will complete habitat composition using the Pollinator Scorecard Tier 2. Details are yet to be announced, but Dr. Baker said the Institute's work with Poly is not just about making field work faster. Our work is about giving utilities data-informed insights to make cost analyses about converting their right-of-ways to pollinator habitats, he said. It's about addressing a conservation need while measurably contributing to sustainability objectives, and that's something that hasn't been fully addressed until now. This article was written by Jill Rebuck, a senior project manager in corporate communications for the Davey Tree Expert Company, an employee-owned corporation that provides research-driven tree services, grounds maintenance, and environmental and utility infrastructure consulting for residential, utility, commercial, and environmental partners in the United States and Canada. She is a graduate of Kent State University in Kent, Ohio, and holds a bachelor's degree in public relations. This article also included a sidebar titled Flying High with AI, Mapping Trees, Invasives, and Plant Communities. A pollinator right-of-way isn't the only vegetation community that utility companies can help and monitor with drones and advanced AI systems, said Will Eiersman, Project Manager, GIS and Remote Sensing Services, Davey Resource Group, or DRG, a subsidiary of the Davey Tree Expert Company. There are a variety of other ways utilities can benefit from machine learning and deep learning algorithms, he said. Tree species, invasive species, and plant community mapping are just the beginning. We can take something we've trained on the model on a few acres and deploy on thousands of acres. And using this technology for over a decade, we've seen how it expedites a lot of different species detection and integrates it with large-scale projects and solutions. ICYMI offers the following 3 ways utilities can operationalize drones paired with AI deep learning. Number 1, mapping. Deep learning algorithms can be trained to identify specific invasive species from high-resolution drone imagery. Number 2, identification and detection. AI can enable pattern recognition, image detection, and colorization to assist with identifying and assessing different vegetation communities. Training models with information field data and overlaying it with images and geospatial data sets provides verified locations, increasing the model's ability to recognize infestations well before ground crews can. Number 3, planning and prioritization. Models can be trained to think logically by running different simulations. This helps in identifying how many acres of a potential invasive species there are, so the utility can put together a treatment plan to eradicate or manage the invasive species. As for what's next, ICYMI said the advancements in AI are coming fast and furiously and will greatly benefit the utility industry. Our input data has made a massive improvement in terms of sensor resolution and specifications. Our understanding of how to build and apply models has too. We're looking at 3D imagery overlaid with data like a plant community's map. It's so immersive, it's like you're on the site without being on the site. Plus, machine learning and deep learning enable us to retain a library of results that we can continually improve upon. This article was published in the 2025 Vegetation Management Supplement, which T&D World publishes each June in partnership with the Utility Arborist Association, or UAA. If you have an idea for an article for the 2026 Vegetation Management Supplement, please email me, Amy Fischbach, at amyfischbach@gmail.com, and I can send you a link to a form where you can upload your abstract. If you're looking for the articles that were published in our 2025 supplement, you can go to our website at tdworld.com/vegetation management, or you can search for a digital version of our supplement, which is available on our website. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Line Life podcast produced by Endeavor Business Media, a division of Endeavor B2B. Be sure to subscribe or follow the Line Life podcast in your favorite podcasting app so new episodes are delivered straight to you. For more insights, you can visit our website at tdworld.com/podcasts or linelife.podbean.com. You can also connect with us by following us on Instagram at Lineman World or Twitter, and you can also visit T&D World on LinkedIn and Facebook. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Line Life podcast. And until your next listen, make sure you stay safe in the field.